Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Pageant Live. I'm Wendy Lindberg, the Director of Global United Pageant. You can find us at www.globalunitedpageant.com, and I'm excited to be your host for tonight's show. Our guests will be discussing preparing for a platform-based pageant. We'll talk about the kinds of things that you'll need to work on, how far in advance you should prepare for the program, and how much of your pageant's platform you need to be familiar with before competing. Before we meet our guests this evening, I'd like to begin by introducing Pageant Live's wonderful owner and producer, Pamela Prevett.
I'd like to welcome everyone. I am so happy to have the Global United pageant system. We have all their queens. We love it when we have one pageant system on. We love all our queens, though. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I'm so happy. Thank you, Wendy, for hosting, and thank once again Stephanie for co-hosting. And I want to thank everyone for making it. We're really excited, and I will give it back to you, Wendy. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam. And also I'd like to welcome Stephanie McGrain, International Super Ms, for tonight's co-host and the Ask the Crown expert.
Thank you, Wendy. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight with Wendy and all of the beautiful guests. And I want to first start by thanking all of Pageant Live's fabulous viewers. I'm excited to say that the website has gotten over 46,000 hits since the short time that it has been up. So we're very excited about that. We love our viewers. When you are visiting the website, I want to remind you to stop by and check out Ask the Crown. We have some great pageant questions posted along with responses. We also invite you to leave your response as well. If you have a pageant-related question, send it to askthecrown@gmail.com. We also have a pageant showcase page highlighting some of the fabulous systems out there. So directors, if you are watching and you want to showcase your pageant on Pageant Live, be sure to email show@pageantlive.com. We also want to thank some of Pageant Live's fabulous sponsors, starting with Royal Bliss Boutique. They have a gorgeous selection of prom gowns, pageant gowns, swimwear, and accessories. And I have to tell you, the earrings, the beautiful earrings that I have on tonight are from Royal Bliss, and they're gorgeous. I love them. When you're visiting PageantLive.com, be sure to click on Royal Bliss's link to check out all of the fabulous items that they have for sale. Also, we are excited for our brand new sponsor, Skull Sugar Cosmetics out of Oregon, and they offer a complete line of natural and cruelty-free hypoallergenic makeup, free of parabens, talc, and other fillers. They offer superior quality, highly pigmented makeup ranging from shadows, primers, liners, to foundations. The products are long-lasting, and they stand up to heat, humidity, and perspiration. And they're used by makeup artists and major celebrities. And I have to tell you guys, I just got my order in the mail, and I'm so excited because I got to try it for the first time today. And I love it. I love the products. And I want to share with you what I have on. So I want to start by showing you. I have the mineral.
Show us, Stephanie, show us. Shut your eyes so we can see it.
Absolutely. I have the mineral blush in Abandon. Love that. You can see the Skull Sugar on the front. I'm also wearing Shimmer Powder Tipping Point. Love it. I'm not sure if you can see it quite so good on here, but I love the sparkles in it. It's gorgeous. I also have on Shimmer Powder White Girl. Very pretty, very sparkly. And on my lips, I have Cherry Poppin' Lip Color. And I have to tell you, oh my gosh, this smells so good. I love the smell of this. It makes me want to eat it. And I can tell you, with all of my old makeup, I had to take my brush and I had to keep applying makeup, and it just seemed like no color was coming on my face. So these products are incredible. It just a little bit goes a long way, and gorgeous, gorgeous color. And Pam, I know you just got some products too. What did you think of your Skull Sugar Cosmetics?
There's a couple things. One on Royal Bliss. The reason 30 comments on your earrings. Everyone was just crazy about Royal Bliss. Also, too, they have a special too. It's called Bliss Bucks, and if you purchase like $20, if you purchase a bathing suit, it's $20 they can use later. It's also $20 if you purchase like a competition gown next time you come in. And so they have a lot of good specials. But getting back to the Skull Sugar Cosmetics, I have used a lot of premium cosmetics. You know, I got to tell you, MAC, Chanel, different. I was absolutely odd when I put that on. In other words, I was using the Q-tip, in which I'm nude, Jamie, if you're watching, and I mean, it just slid on and it stayed. So I mean, this is really, really good. And I also have it on my eyes, but I wear glasses so nobody can ever see mine. So and the pigment, it was very pigment. And you could actually put water on it. So this is a really, really excellent product, not just because there are sponsors. She has a very high quality, it's at a good price point product. So I would recommend, and I'm going to tell you, if you do Pageant 20, you get 20% off your order. So you've got to be sure, Pageant 20, and you get 20% off of your order. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, this is worth having. Real quick, one thing that she gave me, or no, that I purchased, I should say, you can use it on your lips, your eyes, and as a blush. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's one product. It's right here. And it was for 3 uses. So this is good. This is excellent, excellent quality. I can tell you that much.
Oh, and I completely agree. Excellent, excellent quality. I can tell from everything that I have been using, there's a huge difference, and I love it. I love her colors. Yes. So be sure to click on Skull Sugar's link at pageantlive.com, and when you are ordering, put in Pageant20 in the promo code for a 20% discount. And also, if you have a question for any of our guests this evening, be sure to tweet it at Pageant Live, post it to Pageant Live's Facebook page, or post it to Pageant Live's YouTube page. Okay, Wendy, back to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Now we'd like to have each of tonight's guests introduce themselves, and we will start with Danielle.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here tonight. I am your new Miss Midwest Global United, and I am very, very excited about joining the Global United pageant family this year.
Thank you, Danielle. And Heather?
My name is Heather Clark, and I'm Mrs. Spirit of Global United.
Awesome. And Heather, could you tell me a little bit about what the Spirit of Global United program is, so people understand the difference?
Global United is the online program that Global United puts on for those of us who cannot travel.
Cool. Yay. And there's actually 2 competitions for the online program that come up in the year, and one is the Spirit of Global United that works a little more with kind of, you know, the spirit of the program, and does a lot of the competition having to do with your personality and that kind of thing. And then we also have the Heart of Global United, which works really towards the heart of our program, and a lot of the competition is based a lot more on community service work. So you can check those out online too and see a little bit more about what that's all about. Also now Sydney and Lisa.
My name is Lisa Stordahl, and I was crowned Classic Ms. Global United this past summer.
My name is Sydney Stordahl, and I'm Miss United States Global United.
And thanks for coming, guys. I'm glad to have you here. And Stacy.
Hi, I'm Stacey Simpson, and I am Classic Mrs. Florida Global United, and I am also Classic Ms. Spirit of Global United. But I am actually doing the live pageant and really excited to meet everybody and move forward with a new title.
I'm excited too. This is going to be a really fun year and a really fun program this summer. Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy Phillippi. I am Ms. Northstar State. Say that twice without stumbling over.
That is a bit of a mouthful. I'm a horrible person for doing that. I'm
It's okay.
All right, so now is a great opportunity then to ask you guys some questions. When we were getting prepared for this show, we were talking a little bit about Global United and kind of, you know, what our program's about and what it was that we could talk about that our contestants and our queens would have a lot of experience with or a lot of knowledge in. And one of the things that kept coming up with that Global United is like a few other programs that are out there, a platform-based pageant. So not only is our program really asking for people to have causes, community service, and awareness for various causes, but also the program itself supports its own platform, and that is childhood cancer awareness and research. And part of our program, in fact, during the pageant week, we go to the University of Minnesota Hospital Amplatz, and we'll be having a party for about 100 kids and their siblings at the hospital. And it's just a crazy, happy, sad, everything encompassed day that it all happens with. But so part of what came up was that we have this important platform in our program, and how do contestants prepare for platform-based programs. So some of the questions we'll have tonight have a lot to do with that. And so the first question I'm going to ask you guys is, what part of your platform is most important to have when preparing for a competition? And Danielle, we'll start with you.
Well, I have personally been working on my platform for many, many years. My personal platform happens to match the Global United's platform, which is childhood cancer awareness and advocacy. And I chose this platform because I am a 20-year childhood cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney cancer 12 days before my first birthday. So it is a true passion of mine for what I do. I am an official spokesperson for Children's Cancer Research Fund, which is based at the University of Minnesota Amplatz Children's Hospital. It's a wonderful organization, so I love helping with them and getting out and doing speaking engagements and getting money raised for research, because childhood cancer is so highly underfunded, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Excuse me, Danielle, you froze in the very beginning. You said that you were diagnosed with cancer at the age of 1. Could you just tell us a little that again real quick?
Sure. Yep. I was diagnosed with stage 5 Wilms tumor 12 days before my first birthday. And Wilms tumor is a rare form of kidney cancer. And when I was diagnosed, the doctors told my parents that I had a less than 3% chance of surviving my battle. And it did end up taking both my kidneys, so I do not have a kidney transplant. But otherwise, I live life to the fullest. And I just go out there as a spokesperson and bring awareness to the fact that childhood cancer doesn't get the research money that it needs.
Amazing. Congratulations. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
And Heather, what part of your platform is most important when you're preparing for a competition?
It's really hard to pick just one thing because it's all encompassing. I've been asked from judges everything from why did you choose your platform to how do I plan on executing the platform if I'm chosen. So you really need to know what you're talking about, and you really need to focus on the positives, especially with things like childhood cancer. You really need to focus on the we're here to make their day, we're here to raise money for them, and not focus, and focus on the, my goodness, 21 years, in remission kind of a thing, and not so much the negatives. So it's really about knowing what you're talking about and preparing for any question they can throw at you.
Sure. And I like the idea that you said that that's all-encompassing, because there is so much that can be thrown at you during a pageant, during the competition portion, and so having some of that to be prepared is a great idea. Lisa and Sydney?
I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that your platform needs to be something that you are passionate about, and that comes across in everything that you do, in every time you speak about the pageant, your interview, and in all that you do after you win the crown, like I did. My platform is basically the health and wellness of teens and women, and that comes from years of working with at-risk teens, and also for my own 130-pound weight loss that I had right before I was in this pageant. It was important for me to continue to share the message of what that means for a woman who never ever thought about being in a pageant before then.
That's amazing. You actually lost a person, 130 pounds. Congratulations.
I don't miss her.
And Sydney?
My platform is homeless youth. So I've been working with people experiencing homelessness for probably about 4 years.
And when preparing for a pageant, what do you think is the most important thing to know or do with your program to compete?
Well, last year I actually did so much research on childhood cancer and Isaac's Journey, which was our foundation that we worked with last year. I think it's really important to know your pageant foundation and their platform. It really helps with interviews and knowing what you're working for and who you're serving for.
I have a question for you. You said homeless youth. What is the leading cause for homelessness and youth?
Actually, a lot of it is parents kicking their children out for coming out to them. That's actually the main cause in our community, where I in Hennepin County. Yeah, so, or drug use, you know.
Yeah, many parents who, will get in a fight with their teenagers, will kick them out, and those kids are precariously housed. From that point forward, that could mean couch hopping from friend to friend, or being in a homeless shelter.
That's amazing and very cool that is something that you're talking about. Okay, Stacy.
I've always said that your platform picks you, and in my case, it was a very strong pick. I was diagnosed with terminal cancer September 11th, 1996. So September 11th, 2001 was my awareness that maybe I needed to do something with my life. And I had a dream that I won a pageant. And I mean, literally had a dream, and I went, that's it. That's how I'm going to speak to people. That's how I'm going to touch lives. That's how I'm going to make a difference. And I started competing, and I cannot tell you how many doors were opened by wearing a crown. And I look for pageants that are passionate about what I'm passionate about. Clearly, you have to know about lots of different areas to be able to compete in any pageant. But if you're passionate about what you're speaking about, it makes it so much easier. And I feel that giving back to the community is so important. I do lots of speaking appearances, but I do a lot of community service with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, with Relay for Life, and my real passion is Queen for a Day and the 4-Day Foundation, which does parties for children that are going through cancer treatments. So.
That's really cool, and one of the things I've always found that I've really enjoyed about this program is that often it is bringing people that have really specific, really amazing stories to share with the program, and really lends a personal aspect to it. So I appreciate that you have the opportunity to share this, all of you. And Tracy, last but certainly not least.
Oh, thank you. You know what, I agree with what absolutely everybody said. It's really, your platform picks you because it's something that you're passionate about, whatever it is, because you have to be able to, when you go and make appearances or you answer questions at a pageant or wherever you are, you have to be able to speak not only intelligently but passionately, because passion is what gets people excited. It gets them wanting to either open their wallets, open their hearts, open their homes, whatever it is, they're more open when you're excited and passionate about absolutely anything. I don't care if you're talking about walking the dog. If you are the most excited dog walker ever, someone is going to want to like grab a dog off the side of the road and just walk them, because you're just excited, and people love excitement and they're drawn to energy. So I mean, if you're talking about something that you have absolutely no interest in, like, you know, picking up trash on the side of the road, if it doesn't interest you, no one's going to pay attention. They pay attention to people who can speak passionately and with intelligence on anything, actually.
Ladies, oh, sorry, Wendy.
No, you go right ahead.
I was just going to say, I so agree with you. I think having the passion or the personal connection to a platform is so important. You know, I think it's important to have knowledge about your platform, you know facts about it, make appearances, you know, volunteer, attend events. But I think having a passion for it is going to make all the difference. And being able to show that in the interview room to the judges is going to help you win that crown. You know, why are you attending the Global United pageant? You know, why is childhood cancer research important to you? Why are you at that pageant versus any other pageant? You know, how are you going to make a difference and be a fabulous representative promoting childhood cancer awareness?
Yeah, and you know what, Wendy Russo actually did a wonderful clip for us on ASET interview, and that's basically what she said. You know, it's on pageantlive.com. It's worth watching. Exactly what you guys are talking about, and I can feel the passion in the room. You know, it really moves me. You know, and it comes through. So you guys are definitely passionate about what you do. That's for sure.
That's one of the things I think I really like about a lot of the contestants that come to my program, though it spends half of my pageant week probably bawling because they all have something so terribly passionate and heartfelt to share. But it is one of the things that I think ultimately makes me so excited about being able to direct and be able to lead a number of women, is that they can lend such a great amount of passion and excitement to a program. And to me, you know, I'm probably just as excited as Tracy about walking that dog, because she's been talking about it, and I get just as excited and so involved with these women. So I totally agree too with everything everybody has said. So with that being said, then we've kind of talked about preparing for that pageant then, and having an understanding and a knowledge of the program, be it the pageants program or the platform you've also chosen. So how far into the future do you think about your platform when specifically preparing for a pageant? Do you just, you know, plan your events or whatever just to the day that you're crowned, or does it continue on, you know, maybe crowned, or does it continue on past that? So that's the question I'd like to pose to all of you now. So Danielle, why don't you share your thoughts on that?
Personally, I will not stop working with my platform until a cure is found for childhood cancer. A cure is desperately needed. So many children are passing away from cancer. It's a problem in our country, and I have a passion for it, and I will not stop until that cure is found, which we are getting very, very close to finding that cure. I see it coming within the next 5 years or so. I really do.
Awesome. I suppose that was an easy one for you then. How far into the future we're going to do something with that. Way to go. But Heather, how about you? How far into the future do you plan for your platform when preparing for a competition?
Well, for me, these aren't really competitions. They're more job interviews to help me promote my platform. And whether or not I'm picked or win or whatever you want to call it, I'm always working towards a goal with my platform. So personally, I think way beyond the crown or the pageant, and I more think of what can help me continue to, say, raise money or get the word out there on everything. But then again, I was taught from the beginning that the crown that you wear on your head, that's just the attention. That's the, hey, look at me, come pay attention to what I have to say. So for me, it's just more about, let's see how much attention we can get for this cause.
Yeah, but it does open doors. Would you not agree, Heather? You being a title holder, open doors.
But when preparing for something, it's not really a matter of, oh, let's prepare up to the pageant date. It's more of a future, you know, this has nothing to do, you know, with the pageant. The pageant is there, like you said, to open the doors, to help with your platform.
Good point.
Yeah, I think it was, and please don't kill me if I'm wrong, I think it was Angela Perez-Baracchio, who was Miss America 2001, who I remember very specifically holding out her Miss America crown at one point and saying, "This is my microphone," and was talking about, this is the thing that gets me the opportunity to speak to everybody else about the importance of what I care for. So absolutely, I agree 100%, but of course I would, because you're awesome. So, Sydney and Lisa, I have the same question for you.
I think, you know, for me, being able to be a part of the Global United pageant was, as Heather said, it's just another, having the crown on your head is another way to get in the door, to get the attention of the people that maybe, you know, weren't paying attention before. And there's no way that that could be a bad thing, to get, you know, the attention around whatever organizations that you choose to represent. I think that for me it was a lifetime of volunteering since the time I was 12 years old and my mom forced me to become a candy striper at the hospital. I was hooked from that point forward, and I raised my kids to believe that, you know, they had to bring a bag to the park to pick up trash. It was just part of the deal, you know, and it was fun later on as they got older and I didn't have to go to the park with them anymore. They'd always go and grab a bag, like that was required in order to walk out the door to go to the park. You know, so I just think that having this crown has provided an opportunity and can provide anybody else an opportunity that wants to participate in a pageant such as Global United. You know, you can just go for it and get some more attention around whatever it is you're passionate about.
Yeah, I agree with Heather and my mom. I think this pageant is just a stepping stone. It's another way to promote your platform and what you believe in and express what you want to do with your platform.
Awesome. Okay, so then Stacy, I have the same question for you then. How far into the future do you plan when getting ready to prepare for a competition?
I was asked a question one time in an interview, so what is your goal in life? And I said my goal is to live long enough to see a cure for cancer. And honestly, I live this. I live this every day, whether I'm wearing a crown or not, and whether I win the title or not. This is something that, you know, I'm moving forward with. It's not even a matter of finding a cure. There are so many people that are surviving now, which is fantastic, but they're living with a lifelong trauma of what they've experienced and health issues that continue on, and we really need to work to be able to find funding to be able to support these people. There are people dying because they don't have enough health insurance, they don't have enough to be able to support them, to be able to give their families the support that they need emotionally and physically, and so, you know, when this is all over, the crowns go away, but what I do doesn't, because to me this is my life. This is what I do. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, don't do this. And I again would agree with you, and definitely can feel how much that means to you and how important it is. Tracy?
You know, I agree with everybody. It's really, a platform is passion driven, and it goes beyond the crown that you wear for whatever length of time it is. It has to transcend and go beyond that. If you have a back history with it, that's great, but it really needs to go towards the future, because that's really what having a platform is about. It's about what you stand for and how you're going to promote it, and your passion doesn't die when your reign ends. You know, it just doesn't. You don't all of a sudden go, oh, you know, I'm really not all about childhood cancer anymore. It doesn't quit the day that somebody else gets the title or the crown, because the passion is still there, the platform is still there, and the need is still there to draw attention to whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you drew attention to before. So really it has to go long term, or it's just really not a good platform for anybody to promote.
Right, and I think that even ultimately, if you're thinking on just like the really raw sense of it, you know, somebody who just does, pick it for whatever, and then when it's all over and it's done, that kind of stuff translates into your interview. It translates into your onstage questions. It translates into how you perform the whole of the pageant. And often it's really, I think, really easy and real quick for a judge to pick out somebody who isn't really in it for the reason that they say they are. So it really should be something that you pick that goes well beyond the crown and the competition. Stephanie?
Wendy, I totally agree with what you say. I think, and I loved everything you ladies said, and I can feel the passion. It's you know, something that you're living. It's not something that's just here that you're promoting while you're the title holder just to get ready for the pageant. You know, it's something that you've been working on, you know, in the past, you know, in the present, and you will continue to work on in the future. So, and Wendy, I completely agree. I think that judges will be able to see that. They'll be able to see that passion. I think they'll be looking for title holders who are who are making a difference, not for someone who, oh, I'm just gonna wait till I win the crown and then I'll get busy working with it, promoting it. But I mean, I think that's gonna speak volumes about someone if they've already been, you know, out working and promoting and making a difference.
Yeah, and I think ultimately too that if you do get a queen like that, and it occasionally happens, they fool somebody, but if you get a queen like that who, you know, was just kind of waiting for that crown and then she'll do that stuff, she gets stuck and she doesn't know where to go from there, and you rarely are going to see that kind of action come from her because that passion and that plan already wasn't there. So I would encourage 100 times over people who are thinking about competing in a pageant, and especially a platform-based program, to know and really discover what it is that you're about, and work towards that, and start the day you're there well past, you know, what's going to happen. And sometimes you're really fortunate or come across a contestant who really doesn't know what she has a passion for, but you know, being involved in a program or being involved with other contestants gets her there. And for them to be able to acknowledge that is a really great step for them to get well beyond just, you know, putting on a crown and not knowing where to go from there. So.
Wendy, real quick, what I'd like to put, and this is not necessarily towards queens, this is towards our viewers. We have a lot of people who aren't in pageantry, and what these queens are talking about, is title holders are talking about, is their platform. You know, if you don't have a platform, if you just want to volunteer your time, your money, donate to causes, give what you can, because this is what these women are out. They need people supporting their causes, and not everybody can be as driven as you guys are and have the passion you do. Just give in whatever means you can for the people who do not have a platform.
Sure, and I think ultimately just caring enough to do something or volunteer is a platform. That is a passion.
I agree.
So being a self-proclaimed professional volunteer, I think that, you know, that is a cause, and that is an issue. That is something important enough on its own.
I agree.
So then the next question I do have for you guys, and I know it's going to be a little bit easier for Danielle and Stacy, so I'm going to put this out for you guys. Pretend that this isn't about cancer research. Put yourself in another pageant that has a new platform, for example, like Super Pageant with Stephanie, the seatbelt safety aspect instead. Just kind of put that in as what you're thinking about. If you become a part of a program that has a platform like Global United, that has that specific cause for it, how much of that pageant's platform do you think you should be familiar with before you get in and start competing with it? And Danielle, we'll start with you.
Well, I have actually competed the last 3 years in the Minnesota International Pageants, and the International Pageants platform is Go Red for Women. So with working with the International Pageant System, I had the opportunity to work with Go Red for Women. So what I did, I reached out, I did my research, and we had a lot of different events and stuff that we could go to help and volunteer with Go Red for Women. And a lot of the judges that I sat down and talked with, they wanted you to spit off 3 to 5 different facts about heart health for women. It's the #1 killer of women, and yet it's still often seen as a men's disease. And the symptoms in women are so different from men. I mean, jaw pain. A pain in your jaw could be an implication of a heart attack for a woman. And so just getting involved in it and having an equal balance between the national systems platform and your own personal platform it's a balancing act. It truly is, but it's something that, you know, is very, very good, and something title holders need to be able to do, but it is definitely reachable to be able to do.
Yep, and I think a lot of us have been put in that kind of position where we get into a program that has its own personal platform, and you have to figure out how to balance it. So you're right, sometimes it's a little tricky, but sometimes it can also fuel an additional interest in something you want to do or an additional passion, which is what
Absolutely.
which is what actually happened with me when I had originally been talking about teaching children the importance of anger management and controlling their anger instead of lashing out and bullying, things like that, and came into contact with a program that was dealing with cancer awareness, and that's how that passion fueled. It was all of the people I met who had personally been touched by it that got me really excited in wanting to do more for that. So how about you, Heather? What do you think you need to know about a specific pageants platform when you're preparing to compete?
Well, you know what you've said. Basically, the pageant that you decide to compete in, you should be competing for that platform. That should be one of the reasons you chose that pageant. So if you're just randomly competing in a pageant, it's not really going to work if they have their own platform. So, you know, with something like Global United, I like to be able, I can tie it in with my own platform. You know, mine is Bring Pink Heels to Placer County, which is where I live right now. And Pink Heels was something that I found out about through a pageant that Wendy used to direct. And I was very passionate about that. And then with this pageant, with the child cancer research and everything, it ties in. It's all related and it's all relative. So that's why I picked Global United. And that's how I pick the other pageants I compete in, is based on their platform. So I think you should know quite a bit about the pageant's platform if you're going to compete in it.
Great. And Lisa and Sydney?
I agree. I mean, I think that it is a balancing act, and if your personal platform, you know, at all coincides with the platform of the pageant, that's great. If there's ways you can work those things together. But you may find that you're going to have, you know, some weekends where you're spending it, you know, advocating or volunteering for your own personal platform, and then other times where you're doing that for the platform of the pageant. You just need to balance those and never forget one from the other. Remember that you have two things going on.
And how about you, Sydney?
My platform and the pageant platform don't relate at all, and there's no way I can really connect those two with making sense. But I feel like it's very important to know as much as you can about your pageant's platform so you can be ready for the pageant, and you can also express your passion for the pageant platform to the people you're asking for help with, or you're telling them information about the pageant.
I know Sydney was so excited about the pageants platform. She ended up doing a project for school and got an A. I was very proud mom, but was able to share that with her entire class about Isaac's journey. So.
Very cool. And how about you, Stacy?
You know, I think it makes it easier if you find some way to personally bring in whatever platform it is that you're dealing with, whatever system you're dealing with. For instance, you know, super pageants, you know, to be able to say, okay, seatbelt safety is what your platform is about, but try to find some way to bring a personal story into it. Someone that was, you know, injured in an accident, someone that had something happen to them, so that you can find a way to be able to relate to it, and then that brings your passion into it and allows you to be able to start to really, you know, think about the numbers that go with that and the specifics that go with that, and be able to, you know, maybe hopefully tie in whatever your story is to whatever your platform is too. And it does become a juggling act. I mean, you're always going to be, if in a bigger instance, like Miss America doesn't always speak about the Children's Miracle Network, nor does she always speak at whatever her pageant platform was for her local or her state. She has to be well-rounded, and at the end of the day, that's what this all comes down to. You don't know what you're going to get in an interview, and you've got to be able to handle it.
Awesome. That was great. And Tracy, same question to you.
You know, she really hit the nail on the head with it, because really a good queen is separated from just an average one by just how prepared you are. Because when you go to make an appearance somewhere, you could be asked anything, and if you don't know the platform from the pageant that you're representing versus, you know, obviously you're going to have passions for both things, whether they tie together or not. It doesn't matter either way. You just need to be prepared to speak intelligently and well on any subject that pertains to either one, because you just don't want to really be caught off guard. It's going to happen. People are going to ask you off-the-wall questions, and you just need to be prepared. So really, the more research and the more knowledge you have going into anything, whether it be competition or just making an appearance somewhere, it's really going to make you look better long-term.
Gee, that's life, right? How prepared you are just for life, it prepares you.
That's nine times out of 10 exactly what pageantry is. Just preparing you for life.
Right.
If I could count how many times I've gone, okay, let's pretend I have a crown on my head right now. What would I do? Stephanie, what are your thoughts?
I so agree with you, ladies. And, you know, I think you do need to know as much as you possibly can about your platform before you get to the pageant. You know, and like Danielle was saying in her interview, you know, they asked her to name 3 to 5 facts about the pageant's platform. So, you know, not only, I'm sure, you know, in most pageant systems, platform-based systems, you will get some type of questions in your interview regarding the platform, but also as the pageant's representative, once you have the crown on your head, you're going to need to promote that platform and talk to people. So you're going to need to be knowledgeable about that. And the judges are going to be looking for someone who already has that information, that knowledge, that is able to speak to the public and promote the platform.
Absolutely, and I think even beyond that, especially in programs like yours, Stephanie, or my own, where the platform is plastered on the crown and it's plastered on the sash. Like, there's no way getting around what's that about. So beyond that, you really need to know well past the competition what your program's about and what it stands for, because it's all over your sashes and all over your crowns. There's no way to avoid it.
That's so true.
I'm sorry, guys. I did it, so you have to talk about it. You're stuck. So, but thank you guys so much. That was a lot of really great conversation and a lot of great information, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what people have to say about some of the great stuff you had to share, and hopefully it helps a lot of people as they prepare for their big platform program. But I'm going to give you guys each a chance now to kind of wrap up and tell me a little bit more again about your personal platforms and who you are, and of course how to reach you if anybody is interested. So we'll
Wendy, before you guys go, I mean, this is a prime example of pageantry, how well-rounded you have to be. And ladies, this is a lot of work. I mean, what I hear you doing, I know you love it, but it's a lot of work. You not only have to prepare for the pageant, you have to have your platform. You all are wonderful speakers. I mean, you're going to ace any job interview you go into. You know, so there's so many skills that we learn in pageantry that equate over into the real life. Absolutely. You know? Absolutely. So I just applaud you, the passion, the intelligence, you're wonderful speakers. You're a very dynamic group of queens. That's for sure.
That's my girl.
Maybe it's the director.
Very well could be, but no, absolutely it's the girls. It's the girls that got me so excited about the possibility of being a director and have always had me so excited about directing. So.
You know, though, I've known Wendy, I think, the longest, haven't I? And it really is Wendy. Her passion for everything makes you want to come back. I mean, this is, what, the 3rd program of yours that I've been in?
Yeah.
Because of your passion for it.
I think so.
You follow her, hey Heather. Everywhere she goes, you go with
Wendy. A little invisible.
You know, I really do.
Her, but funny. Thank you, Heather. That's really nice. But okay, so thank you guys.
Well, I have one other question, Stacy. I have to say, I see classic in front of your name, and I'm a little confused with that because don't you have 3 young children?
No, I don't have any children, but I am old. I will be 47 in June, so I am old. I do not have any children, but the classic is it 45 and 45 to 55? I'm sorry, Wendy, I don't even know.
59, yeah, because we also have a senior division, so we have 60-year-olds and up from there. And last year we actually had an 83-year-old compete with our program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pam, by the way. That was a very nice compliment.
Seriously, I have to tell you guys, you know, I told Stephanie before, I'm not going into any classic. Okay, girls, I'm sorry. I'm a baby boomer. You know?
I am too. I was born in the 60s, so.
Lisa tells me it's time to retitle that, so maybe I'll.
Yeah, there you go, Wendy. That's where I was going with that.
It's a mouthful, by the way, Wendy.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Oh, this is funny.
When I first decided to run, I asked to Wendy, was there some other word she could use other than classic? It sounded like I was supposed to say vintage or something.
What is it? What is it? 40's the new? No, 50's the new 30.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna have to rename you all something. You guys are giving me a headache.
Call us the boppers.
Okay, now before it gets too crazy and too serious, seriously, stop, guys. So funny. But okay, so I'm gonna give you guys each a chance to kind of say again who you are and a little bit more about your platform and then how you can be reached. So we'll start with Danielle.
Okay, well, I am Danielle Enberg, and I am Miss Midwest. You can learn more about my platform and read about my story on my website at www.danielleenberg.weebly.com. I have my whole story listed on there with pictures of going through my cancer treatments, and I recently went through some rejection treatments as well last year with my kidney transplant. So I have it all on there. There's information on there for Children's Cancer Research Fund. So go ahead and check it out, and if you have any questions, there is a contact me page on there as well.
Thank you very much, Danielle. And Heather, how about you?
Okay, Heather Clark, Mrs. Spirit of Global United. And be sure to check out the pageant, globalunitedpageant.com. And if anybody in Northern California, because again I can't travel, would like me to attend an event or something, if anybody's watching, you can contact me through Wendy at globalunitedpageant@yahoo.com. And my platform, my personal platform, is Pink Hills Pink Fire Trucks, and that's pinkfiretrucks.org. Check it out. And then, of course, the childhood cancer awareness and fundraising for Wendy and her program.
Thank you very much, Heather, and Lisa and Sydney.
You can reach me on my Facebook page, which is Classic Ms. Global United. I'm very easy to find. But I just want to take a moment to tell people out there who have never been in a pageant, have never thought of themselves as a pageant girl or woman. I was certainly one of those people. As a size 22, 24 in 2010, it was the furthest thing from my mind. I always thought that pageants were about skinny girls, and I was definitely not one of them. Really, my entire adult life, and I really, when I went through my weight loss, I went through a terrible divorce. Subsequent then had gastric bypass surgery and lost the weight. I wanted to do three things. I set three very large goals. I wanted to run in a race. I wanted to dance again. I was a dancer in high school, and I wanted to be in a pageant. And I knew Wendy through the Women of Today, and I always kind of knew she was involved with pageants, but I didn't know what that meant. And so when I found out that her pageant was really centered in serving my community, which is something I already did, I felt like it was the right one for me. I'm happy to report that I did run in a race. I was in the Warrior Dash last summer, and in fact, all 5 queens, reigning queens this year, are doing the Warrior Dash this summer. So we're all excited about that. We're still trying to get Wendy to say yes to that one. There's a lot of mud involved, though, and some barbed wire, and kind of scary. But I also dance in a competitive ladies dance group. I am almost 48 years old, and I end our jazz on stage in the splits, I'm happy to say. I can still do that, and then, obviously winning this crown. So I just want everybody to know they can do this too.
And how about you, Sydney?
I'm very excited about next year's pageant, and I've learned a lot from last year, and I'm ready for this summer.
All right, and Stacy, how about you?
Again, I'm Stayc Simpson. I got married a year ago, but it didn't update on my name. So you can reach me at classicbeauty@msn.com. So I guess my Classic Mrs. Florida Global United title we don't want to get rid of because Classic Beauty works. It's the same with Facebook. You can reach me at classicbeauty@msn.com. I work with several different charities, Relay for Life, and then Team in Training with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. But what I'm most passionate about is Queen for a Day, also known as the For a Day Foundation. You can reach them at www.qfad.org, and they specifically do parties for kids that are going through cancer treatments. Originally, my platform was raising awareness for blood cancers, but through Queen for a Day, I realized I wanted to do raising awareness for pediatric cancers because there's so many kids out there that are touched by these diseases, and I want to make a difference, and I want to see a cure.
Wonderful, Stacy. And then how about you, Tracy?
Well, to round out the fun, I am Tracy Phillippi. I am Ms. Northstar State. My actual platform is Women's Health and Wellness. Mine is a little bit unique because I was overweight, competed in one pageant, saw myself on TV, was horrified, lost a bunch of weight. In the process of losing weight, I became a certified personal trainer where I've actually transformed my life into helping others lose weight and achieve things that they've always wanted to do while actually increasing their self-esteem. And I've actually transitioned yet again through everything with all the public speaking I've done, and I've actually taken it to the airwaves. So if you want to find me, you can actually go to coolchickradio.com and you can find me on there.
Tracy, let me ask you, what do you cover on coolchickradio.com? What is your topics?
Everything and anything you could ever possibly imagine, because we're on the internet. So I get to say whatever I want to. I have done everything from health and wellness events to judging monster trucks. I have tried out for the LFL. I have been challenged to run 5Ks. I've done a lot of interesting things where I'm just not afraid to kind of try new things, reach out, and just kind of look like an idiot sometimes.
I'm pretty sure at some point they were trying to give you a date too, Tracy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I auctioned myself off for a date one time for charity.
How did that turn out?
I went for $250. Yeah, it was $250.
Whoa. I did too. I did a bachelorette auction and I went for over $1,000.
No way.
Yeah, I did. We did a bachelorette auction and a bachelor auction, and we ended up only having 4 women show up. And so I went for the highest amount of money. I was like, that's awesome.
That doesn't make somebody feel good. I don't know.
And then I met my husband. Yeah, and then I met my husband on the internet like 6 months later. So.
That's awesome.
At least I hope he got, a really nice date out of his $1,000.
He never called me for the date.
Really?
Yeah, it was a fundraiser for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and the guy never called me for the date. I was like, oh no, we raised money.
That's right. That's all that matters.
I'm sure it was just that he was so horribly intimidated. I would be if that's the case.
Even though she would be a riot to go out with.
Wait, don't make me no, that's bad. We're not.
Well, thank you, Tracy. And Stephanie, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm Stephanie McGrain, International Super Ms., and we are looking for delegates to compete at the international competition in Hamilton, Montana, June 21st through the 23rd. If you have questions, please shoot me an email at askthecrown@gmail.com. I'd love to share my experiences with you about America's Super Pageant, answer your questions. Also, you can find me on Facebook. You can find Bree Heron, America's Super Miss, on Facebook. I know she'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have as well. And I want to remind everyone to please buckle up. Every time you're in the car, all passengers buckled up, drive at safe speeds, never drive distracted or impaired. And also, I want to remind everyone to check out Pageant Live's Facebook page, and we love our viewers. I want to give a big shout out to Paul of Australia.
Yay!
Yay! And also Pageant Live's Princess Taikisha. We want to say hello to everyone, all of the viewers in Afghanistan, and thanks to all of the viewers from around the world who are tuning in and watching us. And Pam, I'll throw it your way.
Once again, I want to thank everyone. I would like to thank our sponsors, Royal Bliss. Check out www.pageantlive.com. We have our link straight to them. We have our new sponsor, who is Skull Sugar Cosmetics. Steffi and I have been talking about the cosmetics. Very high quality cosmetics at a very good price point. Once again, they're on our website also. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I want to thank the viewers. You're a wonderful group. And you know what? I love having you. I love your energy. And you know what? That's why this show came about, is because title holders do not get all the credit you deserve. Raising money, doing great things. So I applaud you. I really do. And I'm really honored to be in your presence. So Wendy, thank you for hosting. So I'm taking it back to you. Everyone have a good evening. Go ahead, Wendy.
Well, thanks so much, Pam, for all those nice things you just said. And thank you, everybody, also for watching. We were really excited to kind of share information about our program and also just helping you prepare for your next big pageant-based program. Again, my name is Wendy Lindberg, and I am the director of the Global United Pageant. You can find us at www.globalunitedpageant.com. And our program is actually July 24th through the 27th in Minneapolis, and we are still looking for lots of great contestants. We're an international program, so you're actually going to see some contestants coming to us from Singapore and Malaysia and Australia and India and Guatemala and just all over the world. And so it's a really awesome opportunity for you to really just have a great week. We're going to be getting a spa day at the Minnesota School of Cosmetology. We're going to be, again, hosting a huge pageant at a local hospital for the children there, and just a lot of other really great, really fun activities. So we'd love to have you be a part of it. And we're just anytime now until July 1st, so check it out, and we're really excited to hear from you. Again, thank you for watching tonight. You can visit the Pageant's live site at www.pageantlive.com and send your questions to askthecrown@gmail.com. If you have any questions or if you'd like to be a future guest on Pageant Live, email to show@pageantlive.com. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and be sure to watch us next Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Night.